Hi guys. So I just thought I'd pop on today and just talk about how we can make time for our witchcraft into our everyday lives. So what inspired this was the other day it was Lunasa and I saw online lots of people wishing everyone happy first harvest, and that was all, it was all lovely in that. But what was quite sad was that so many people responded just saying that they didn't have time to celebrate or as much time as they'd like to practice. And I think that's a crying shame. This video isn't intended to diss anyone or to look down on anyone, but rather I can see how it's so easy for us to fall into that trap because we all lead such busy lives. There's so many constraints and pressures on us, and it's hard to fit it all in. If I take my own example, I work full time, 40 hours a week, 5 days a week. I've got my writing that I like to do, and then I've got my kids, my partner, the dogs. And you want to spend quality time with all of those people. And then, you've got your house and the chores and all of the other things that you have to do to make sure each area of your life runs smoothly. And it's hard bloody work. So it's easy to see how your witchcraft practice can get pushed to the side because often it's the first thing that you think about to move. So you might think, oh, well, I'm so busy today. I've got this, this and this to do. I'll have to do my witchcraft tomorrow or next week. But then the problem is that when tomorrow or next week come, those pressures are still there because they are ongoing. They never go away. And so you find yourself constantly pushing your witchcraft back. And then a year or so down the line, you look back and you realise that you haven't practiced at all. It's a crying shame when that happens. And so one way to combat that is to incorporate your witchcraft into your everyday life so that it becomes a habit. And then that way, it's no effort at all to do it. So one of the ways in which I first started to do that was I would wake up half an hour earlier, a few times a week, or stay awake and stay up later a few nights a week, and then set aside those times specifically for witchcraft. And that was one way in which I would do that. But that's not for everyone, I know. So another way that you might be able to practice witchcraft in your everyday is to look at your day-to-day schedule and just see where you get those 10, 15, 20-minute gaps between things that you have to do. Now, ordinarily, if you've got 10 minutes before you have to go to work, then you might just sit down and, scroll on your phone or your tablet and just, go on Facebook and Twitter and all of that. And really, you're just passing the time. You're not really interested in what you're looking at. You're just doing it to waste the time. So I would say, if you can, in those 10, 15, 20-minute periods, to practice your witchcraft. You might choose to meditate for 5 or 10 minutes, which can be incredibly beneficial when done every day. You might choose to practice your tarot or your other form of divination that you're into. There's so many things that you can do in those short spaces of time. And I think it's important to realise that, if you can get 10 minutes there and 15 minutes there and maybe another 10 minutes later on, then that's like a good chunk of time if you add it all up. So don't turn your nose up at those 10-minute periods, because you will be able to do something, I swear it. So another way is to maybe cut out mindless TV. Growing up in the UK, every night, when I was at home, the soaps would be on. So you've got Emmerdale, Coronation Street, EastEnders. And I think those kind of things become habitualized in your life. So, when I moved out and started my own home, those same programs would be on in the evening. And, you watch them and I think you enjoy them at the time. But then if you can just separate yourself from them and just have a bit of a break from them, when you do go back to seeing them, you think, oh my God, has it always been this rubbish? And you realise that actually it's no sacrifice at all. So really look at things that you can cut out, things that aren't necessary, because you will have those things that you do have to do. But really be critical of the non-essential tasks. Do you really need to do them? Can you push them back? Can you cut down on them? And then that's another way that you can free up more time. So like I said, this was just a quick video. Please feel free in your comments to share any of the tips or any advice on how you practice your witchcraft, how you fit it into your day-to-day. Because I think sharing knowledge is an absolute cornerstone of witchcraft. It's just great. It's how we all learn. It's how we all move forward. So please feel free to add any helpful tips. Thanks again for watching. See you guys again soon. Bye.